if you've been with EXP for a long time, the My EXP dashboard, when that came live, was when the international revenue share came live. So effectively, I was the best company volunteer for 18 months.
Hey there, future real estate legends. This is Jason P. Jordan, your go-to global real estate coach and the president and CEO of the Legends International team, brokered by eXp Realty. I just wanted to thank you for being here and welcome you to another episode of the Lit Real Estate Show, where we interview our equity partners at eXp Realty in the USA and from all around the globe. Now I just ask you to please subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button and hitting that bell icon so you never miss another Lit show or any other future videos that I have then launch here on this channel. It also helps the show grow so we can get even more successful eXp Realty agents on to help you. Now, at the same time, if you're a subscriber, you'll get access to new shows before anyone in the world does. If you would, subscribe right now. Thanks so much. All right, so let me introduce our guest speaker today, Barry Pulver from Davidson, North Carolina, the United States. But when you hear him talk, you know he's not originally from there. Barry discovered the first international expansion for the fastest growing property company in history. In the process, he's become the #1 global agent at eXp Realty while helping real estate agents discover their ultimate potential in the property industry. Mentoring brand new agents in North Carolina as well. He's changing, enhancing, and disrupting the real estate industry around the world with this group of over 625 global agents today, sharing ownership opportunities and industry-leading technology support and intentional vision to lead the way forward. He's been helping clients sell their homes for record prices at a high level throughout North Carolina and internationally. And check out these numbers: 625 agents, 6 continents, 16 plus countries, over $1 billion sold worldwide annually with this organization, top 10 global agents for volume, 39 of the top 50 global agents, and the #1 global team for volume in the entire company worldwide. He's a former international journalist, radio show host with experience in all aspects of journalism from the largest media corporation in the world, writing newspapers, researching a large local area in North Carolina, USA, currently hosts a popular radio show in Charlotte as well. With that said, let me bring him on, ladies and gentlemen. Barry, my friend, how are you?
After that, I don't quite know what to say. I am wonderfully well, thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I remember that first time that I met you in Las Vegas at my very first eXpCon 2021. And, you know, I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. I thought I knew everything about international, right? I was like, oh, we're opening countries and helping do this. And I was like, this guy, though, is the man, right? And so I think about, you know, and you're so darn humble, right? You, Rich, you know, and everybody, and Adam, and how you guys all kind of got that started. But let's rewind the clock. Let's get in the DeLorean and go back in time a little bit, right? Let's talk about, how did you get, you know, what were you doing and kind of what moved you into real estate?
Whoa. So I moved to America in 2010. I was in property management, affordable housing, property management. Incredible results. You don't get paid anything. But at that time, my wife, wife and I at that time, were buying a house, and you're already in real estate through property management, so not really. And long story short, I went through the process. She was the top agent at Keller Williams in this small town, like you mentioned, thank you, of Davidson, North Carolina. And as someone knows, you go through an experience, you experience what it is, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of the above. And she recommended, why don't you get your real estate license? Okay, I'll just do that. And so like many of us, we have the experience, which tempts and prompts us to go into the industry. And that was it, the end of 2015, start of 2016, got my real estate license, and somehow I still have it today.
I love that. I love that. So, you know, you were at Keller Williams, you know, you've gone on, you were at a luxury brand, and talk about, you know, what was it that attracted you to come join this ragtag group, you know, that was working on and had a vision to become the biggest real estate brokerage in the world. So what made you decide to do that?
Well, I think ragtag's probably the best way to put it, which exactly it was. Coming close to 6 years at eXp now, so I wear the age with me as well. But in most of America, half of Canada, maybe a third of Canada, ambitions to go international. But so the main reasons, in complete honesty, if I was to go back in time, like you say, the reasons I joined eXp at that time, there was a little reason. I had a conversation with my business partner or sponsor, depending the verbiage you want to use. This is an internal call, right? Was about licensing coming into play in the UK. But that was a pipe dream, may happen one day, may not, 20, 30 years down the road. I joined eXp as a real estate agent to discover and build my own brand and to seek out true, honest support for me as a frontline agent. Those are the two reasons. And then I did the black and white, hey, this is what I have, this is what they have, this is what I don't have. So I did that smart analysis, but from the emotional decision, because we all make logical decisions based on emotion, it was I wanted support and I wanted my own brand.
And so, but then talk to me about how you, with Rich, right, and with Rich Tomasini, and how, what did it come about to this idea of opening the UK? I mean, and getting that started and finding Adam. I mean, how did that kind of all transpire? I think that's an amazing story.
Luck and divine intervention. I mean, I'll take you back, give it a couple of years when I was a brand new real estate agent. The very same lady that a friend of mine. So where my wife has her office, across the little hallway from her business office is a massage therapist and a friend. Used to be the massage therapist of Rich. When I got my license, first of all, he was at a small company here, introduced us, and she said, hey, you need to speak to this guy, and it wasn't the right fit. Many years later, it came to be. So I always say that Rich was introduced to his wife from her and to me and his international through business through her. So you never know who knows people in this life. When I joined eXp, I'm sure he didn't think, Glenn didn't think, oh, it's Barry Pulver, he's a new agent, he's joining eXp, we're going to go international. So you never know on this journey and world of yours, right? If I can offer one piece of advice, what someone knows, who someone knows, and what something will become. But going back to the question, how it all began was, again, my business. So I was a capping agent. I wasn't an icon agent. I was decent, but not amazing. And I was doing my business, and I saw Rich and I sat down at a coffee shop. It's not there anymore, but it was a Starbucks in Cornelius, North Carolina. I saw something in a newspaper, a digital newspaper, it's still Modern Times, in the UK, saying that licensing law, much like we have in America, is coming into play in the UK. And I said, Rich, I don't really know what you're doing. I don't really know or care what eXp is, but this may be of interest to you. And he sat and looked at me and said, we need to talk. We had a conversation, and that's how the eXp thing came to be. Going one step further, not the Brent Go Friday afternoon analogy. I was very limited. I said, you know what, let me do some research. Let me go on LinkedIn. I've used LinkedIn a lot for my business. It's served me well. Let me look on LinkedIn and figure out if eXp was ever going to be a thing. I know they're talking about them going international. Let me find out who the person's going to be to do it. I found one person. His name was Adam Day. Didn't know him, didn't know anybody over there, although my family's there and friends and everybody who know one in property. I sent him a very specific, deliberate, cold message on LinkedIn. The long story goes that it was perfect timing. It piqued enough interest, as you can imagine. And now we have a global infrastructure, but before that, it was going through Jason Gessing and Glenn Sanford. Many, many conversations later. 2 years before your first event, right? We launched and we announced that we're launching in 2 countries. One was the UK, first of all, then one was Australia. LinkedIn, long-winded answer, but LinkedIn was the way how.
So now that you have this ability to look back, sometimes that can help you look forward, right? So if you were to take those, glasses that you have on your head there, and they gave you the vision to see into the future based upon what you know about the past, and for the passion of where we're going in the future, what do you think is the future of eXp Realty?
That is a fantastic question. And I feel you get busy enough, or you have, everyone's definition of success is very, very different. But when you get busy enough or successful enough, the business comes to you, and sometimes you take your foot off the accelerator of what made you arguably successful in the first place, right? So I believe it's a really interesting time. As we record this, it blows my mind. It's a new month tomorrow. So let's say the middle of the year, and there are, I don't want to say copycats, but there's been many spin-off companies from this company. And one could argue that it was a spin-off. I would heavily disagree, from another company back in 2009. So I think there will be some pivots, some shifts, beneficial shifts to the model that will come into play. And I think that the differentiator between eXp, and I think that needs to happen, to be honest with you. I think to go from, where are we? Let's say 85 to 90,000 agents to the goal 150,000. Momentum will always carry you far, but the very core ethos and leadership of a company is what's going to take you to that next level. So I know as we're recording this live, there's been some leadership changes, and they've announced, on the domestic and international stage. But I think by relying on the very core value, for my opinion, what's most important about this company anywhere in the world, that we, the agent, all of us on this call, are the customer of the company. And as long as that methodology is continually followed and focused on, I think that's what's going to take the company to the next level. I'm going to flip the script though. What do you feel at the same time is the next 3 to 5 years and focus for the company to get where they want to go?
Well, I think we've done a really good job, Barry, and thank you for flipping the script on me here. But I think that the company has done a really good job penetrating the U.S. market. As we're recording this today, we are the #1 real estate brokerage in the United States by agent count and value, right? So we actually don't just recruit, but we produce, right? And I think that that's a big thing. And I look at the trajectory of countries opening, and I think of how the UK was open, and I look at what Adam Day did to grow that. Very slow, methodic growth in the beginning, which now is starting to catch fire in a big way, right? And they've won a lot of awards over the last couple of years, and I think that's because he was the right leader for that country at that time, and I think he's just kept his head down and focused on this is the plan, right? So I think if we can kind of take that idea of what Adam has been able to do, and other leaders in the company too. There's some other great leaders, and I don't want to name everyone because it would take us forever on this call, but take that ethos of that culture and expand that globally. And that's what's going to give us the opportunity that we've heard Glenn say in the past, the opportunity to maybe be 500,000 agents in 50 countries. I was sitting there in the audience today when he said that, and I thought, wow, that would be really cool. Or I've heard Brent Gove throw out a number like 1 million agents in 10 years, And I look at that and I go, okay, we're not growing at the rate we were, at that point, right? But the whole idea is that now things are starting to mature. We're getting some new and different leadership because what just helped us get to where we are doesn't necessarily mean those are the right people to get us to where we need to go, right? So I think it is the right time. Right. And I'm going to talk about some of the updates and announce some of those things. So those that are on the call will get to hear who has recently joined us too. So I think that the opportunity is international expansion. Right. And that's where the largest growth will come. I think we will continue to grow in the United States. Now we look at Canada. Right. Canada is absolutely on fire in a good way. And I think it's leadership. Right. And so I think as those things continue to penetrate into the other markets we're in, that's the growth phase. Right. But I think it comes to people like yourself and myself and others on this call being pioneers who are willing to go in early, take the massive arrows, right. And eventually weather that storm. Right. And be some of those first people. So,
well, a couple of things, if I may, just on that. So two things. First of all, thank you. One thing I've always appreciated about this company, especially in comparison to my experience with others, is transparency. So Glenn, the founder, I literally just sent him a workplace message yesterday, and everybody, no one hides behind the title, no one hides behind a screen or anything at this company, and I think that is what's always going to get people to the next phase. And your point there, I just wanted to touch upon it about being pioneer. So I tell everybody this story, and I'm happy to say it again because I wouldn't change a thing. Well, my accountant would, but when we launched into the UK, right, it took me, if you've been with eXp for a long time, my eXp dashboard, when that came live was when the international revenue share came live. So effectively, I was the best company volunteer for 18 months. Hours I put in, and again, not complaining, just speaking about the difference about being a pioneer and being in it for the long haul and doing what you truly want to do. So for 18 months, and nothing was back paid, and it's again, not a complaint, it's just the fact that I was behind the scenes doing bits and pieces, and it took 18 months for that to become live. So with a pioneer, with the early adopter, you have your challenges, but if you can stick with it, the results are there too.
Yeah, I think that, and my last question was going to be to you on this segment, Barry, was going to be if you had one piece of advice for somebody who's watching this here live today, who's new or who's maybe watching a recording in the future and is thinking about maybe joining us at eXp Realty, right? What would that one piece of advice be?
I think you've got to look in the mirror. And this is easy for me to say at this point, right? A couple of things. First of all, I'm going to copy my good friend Elizabeth Riley, who I was speaking to the other day. She said this a week or so ago at one of the regional rallies. Do not compare someone's chapter 19 or 20 with your chapter 1. And what that means is, right, everybody's amazing, everybody's great. Look at their YouTube videos, look at the social media. So be very careful, be very honest and realistic and humble with who you are, where you are in your journey. Look for people for inspiration, motivation, and to follow a path of mentorship, but don't compare where you are to where they are. And I think that with that said, it's just looking in the mirror. Look at where you are in your business, who you are as a human being, and where you want that to be, and then seek out someone. I think what I didn't get, I don't know about you, I'll ask you in a second, joining Keller Williams, nothing against them, just my own experience. I was seeking my real estate agent at the time, for some mentorship, for some guidance, because I didn't have that. And I think if you seek someone who has traveled the path you at least feel you want to go on, and they are there willing to hold the hand out and help you through mentorship along the way, personally, I think that's the best thing about this company. It offers that. So I think seek out mentorship. But I'm really curious to get your answer to the same question too.
Yeah, I think that you need to, the first question I ever ask anyone when I'm sitting down with them is, what do you want to accomplish over the next 5 years, right? Do you see yourself as an entrepreneur, right? Are you someone that sees yourself in the next 3, 5, maybe 10 years, maybe going from a solo agent to becoming a team leader or starting your own independent brokerage? If they answer yes to that question, they're going to do very well in our ecosystem because they're entrepreneurial minded, right? Somebody who, and there are a lot of agents that are part of our company that work as part of a team and they're productive, and that's great, right? We need agents like that, right? But the growth side of this company is going to come from those people who are entrepreneurial, who have ambitions to be a team leader to independent brokerage. And that's what I talk to them about, is if you have that mentality, then this is the best way to ever grow and expand a real estate brokerage, period. There is no other better way that I've ever seen. So,
well said.
That's what I say. So, Barry, with that said, why don't we put a bow on this sucker right here for this segment of this interview today. I want to thank you personally for taking the time out to come here. And you mentioned Elizabeth Riley. She'll be coming up on our team call here at the end of next month. We've got her scheduled as well. But I just want to thank you again, my friend, and looking forward to seeing you in person. I think I'm going to owe you at least one pint this time.
I'll take it. I'll look forward to it. It's my pleasure. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So stick around, and we'll bring Barry back here in just a moment, those of you that are here live. So let me just jump back onto my slides. And of course, here's the picture of Barry and Adam. Hey, I hope you found value in today's legendary interview with our special guest. If you'd like to see more interviews just like this one, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And if you'd like to learn more about today's guest, I placed all their contact information in the description below. Who knows? Maybe they are the mentor you've been looking for. And if you're looking to make a change who you are partnered with in real estate, feel free to book a no-pressure private Zoom call with me. During this private call, I'll share with you how we help real estate agents leverage their language skills and cultural connections to close more transactions both locally and internationally using cutting-edge lead generation technology and marketing techniques. If you want to find yourself in a different situation in 90 days or in a year from now, it's important to find the right partners that can mentor you, have the right strategies, and are willing to give you the roadmap without asking for an additional cut of your commission. With the unique eXp Realty model, it's a collaboration, not competition mentality. The numbers don't lie either. So if you're curious, reach out and set up an appointment. I look forward to meeting you. Feel free to check out the other videos I have here on the channel about eXp Realty too, in case you're just curious. Otherwise, drop your questions or suggestions for upcoming guests in the comments below. Once again, I'm Jason F. Jordan, your go-to global real estate coach with the Legends International team, brokered by eXp Realty. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.